LEGO has released 4 different Star Wars mechs so far, and in this video I'll be upgrading every single one of them. And at the end, I'll be making a mega mech that you probably saw in the thumbnail.
Here we go!
Let's start out with the Luke Skywalker mech, my least favorite out of all of them. Reason being is that the wings are always moving around and they look sloppy sometimes. But speaking of an X-Wing, how about we turn this thing into a $16 X-Wing? Bam, here it is. And it looks pretty darn good for being less than 200 pieces. This is the X-Wing alternate build I saw on TikTok, and I decided to make a tutorial for it on my channel. This thing was really fun to build and how to figure it out with just a picture. I really enjoyed making it. It's not the easiest build ever, and it did fall apart on me a couple times. And also, if you want to build it, make sure you have the extra pieces handy because I used a few of them. It's also nice that you can put this X-Wing on a stand, and here's the little hole that allows for that feature. All the wings are attached by ball joints and are very sturdy. There's also 2 flags at the bottom, which are pretty cool, and I did this because Luke's lightsabers are attached to the back for thrusters. Overall, this is a fun and somewhat challenging build, and I highly recommend it. The next mech is the Darth Vader mech, and this was the most requested on the channel, so I'll be showcasing 4 different alternate builds for it. The first upgrade I have here was designed by Flowly, and it is a pod racer. It is a very unique build because it's not something that exists in the Star Wars universe, and I've never really seen this shape in a LEGO Star Wars set. These arms do move around, and you can position them wherever you'd like to. Here's the spot where you could put Darth Vader, and he fits in there very nice. This build is slightly flimsy, but you can't expect alternate builds to always be perfect, because in my opinion, it's more about the looks than the durability, unless it's really fragile. But let's move on to the next one. The second upgrade was designed by Dorian Bricktron, and this is Darth Vader's throne. But if you have the Palpatine minifigure, I'd call it Emperor Palpatine's throne, which I think is better fitting. For $16, this would be one of the cheapest throne rooms since 2000 when LEGO released this set. In my opinion, this throne looks excellent and it is a very sturdy build. There's a place to put the lightsaber and the cape, and you can put Darth Vader or Palpatine in the throne very easily. And there's also a clip in the back of the throne for a lightsaber. There's also these decorative poles that add to the aesthetics of this build, and overall I have to say that this is a great build and I highly recommend it. The third upgrade is Darth Vader's speeder designed by Bluebee, and this upgrade is very durable and looks very sharp as well. You can use the lightsaber blade from the mech to create a laser sticking out on the front of the speeder, and Darth Vader can pilot it. However, it can be annoying to take the piece off to get him in there, and you may want to remove the cape so it does not get bent inside. At the back of the speeder, there's a clip for Vader's lightsaber. I'm very pleased with the aesthetics of this build, as it does look very sharp. This is a great option if you're looking to build a speeder. The final upgrade I'll be showcasing for the Darth Vader mech is my favorite, and it is the meditation chamber designed by LEGO Ohio. And man, did he do a very good job with this build. It looks amazing, and the fact that you can get this for $16 on the shelves right now makes it better. Starting with the back, you can see that there is a place for Vader's lightsaber, and underneath you can see that the build sits on some studs. In the front, you can open up this hatch for easy interior access, and this is where you place Darth Vader, and he looks menacing inside. Unfortunately, there's no place to store Vader's helmet or cape if you decide to take them off, but for $16, I have nothing bad to say about this alternate build, and this one is by far my favorite one for Darth Vader. The next mech is the Stormtrooper Mech, and I really like the white and black color scheme of this one. I'll be showcasing 2 alternate builds for this set. The first one looks quite familiar. It is the Stormtrooper pod racer, also designed by Flowly, and very similar to the Darth Vader pod racer. I'm not going to waste too much time with this one since it's so similar, but you can place the Stormtrooper inside, and it does look pretty cool in white. The next one is a unique one, and it is the Stormtrooper hallway, designed by Dorian Bricktron, but I think of it as a mini Tantive 4 hallway. Obviously it would look way better with Rebel Troopers, which I don't have, but additional Shore Troopers would also make it look better. Unfortunately, this build does not stand up too well, and that is the reason for these pieces in the back, so it does look a little bit ugly from this angle. But the angle walls behind the Stormtroopers look fantastic, and with a few Stormtroopers added, this thing is worth making.
The final mech I have here is the Boba Fett mech, which also had a lot of requests, so I'll be doing a multitude of builds from this thing too. The first upgrade I have here is Boba Fett's ATRT designed by Vice Versa Bricks, and he did a fantastic job with this design. The ATRT has a cool color scheme to it, and overall is very durable for an alternate build. At the top, you can sit Boba Fett down in the ATRT, and he looks sick riding it. At the back, there's his blaster and a large rocket that you can use to fight enemies, or you could pretend to shoot it out of the cannon in front. The legs look great on this thing, but there are a few drawbacks to this build. The ATRT is a little unsteady and falls down on me sometimes, but tilting the head back can help a little. Maybe with a few design changes it can be fixed, but it's not too big of a problem. Overall, this build is awesome, and if you're into ATRTs, it's hard to pass this one up. This next upgrade is Boba Fett's speeder designed by Dorian Bricktron, and one thing I have to say about this build is that it looks compact, but it is filled with illegal building techniques. I had no idea that something with so many curved pieces could make something that looks very box-like. Anyway, the speeder looks fantastic. There are two turrets on the side that are very different, but look great. The angled design on the speeder is definitely unique, as I don't recall many Star Wars sets with this type of pattern. Boba Fett fits into the seat of the speeder very easily, and he looks good in there. The back of the speeder looks a little uneven since there is a stud shooter on one side and a different piece on the other side. It's cool how most of the speeder is made from ball joint connections, and if you like the way this looks, it's definitely worth making. The third Boba Fett mech upgrade is different from the others because it is Boba Fett's four-legged pet, designed by Sasuke. This thing doesn't even exist in the Star Wars universe, and that's why I love it. It is the only animal alternate build that I've showcased so far, and I think it's totally worth making. You can see the little head up top and the four legs, but because it's Boba Fett's pet, it's fully armed and operational. There are two cannons on the side of this pet, and also a stud shooter and Boba Fett's blaster up top. It also has a tail, or maybe a cannon, whichever you decide. This thing is very sturdy and will not fall apart very easily because there weren't many illegal building techniques used, if any at all. Boba Fett seems to be having a grand old time hanging onto the side of his pet, so if you like animals, this build is for you. Oh, and by the way, you can complete the pod race trio with Boba Fett's pod racer, also designed by Flowly if you want to have all three pod racers at once. They're all relatively the same, so I won't waste too much time talking about them all, but in my opinion this one looks the best and it's definitely the most durable as well. But now as we come to the end, we've upgraded all four mechs, and all evil seeks greater power, so let the dark side power roll. This is a regular LEGO Star Wars mech, and this is a mega LEGO Star Wars mech. The designer for this is TTUU, and man, this thing is unbelievable. It's surprisingly durable and can stand up with ease. The feet are super large and they are poseable along with the legs. The legs have an awesome rugged pattern to them, and it adds to the design of this build. In the middle, you can see three minifigures, all of the Empire mech figures. The arms look fantastic, and this mech holds two blasters, each with a stud shooter. The back is the ugliest part of it, but there are plenty of clips for weapons. You can also do this, but that's too cursed for this video. Now let's test the mechs. Can they hold up to the Death Star cannon shot? Let's find out. That's going to be it for today. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if we get 5,000 likes on it, I'll give every single one of these mechs away to 4 different subscribers. See you all soon.